Okay, so I am sitting here with a couple of friends of mine. One of them sitting next to me. His name is the
Dark Fool.
Dark Fool. And say a little something about yourself there, Dark Fool.
Uh, I've been on YouTube for a long time. I'm not really looking for popularity, and this guy surpassed me by a lot, and I'm proud of him for it. So,
Why?
yeah.
You flatter me. And calling in all the way from the Netherlands is our friend and longtime Sect member Emiel Kollof. Say a
Yeah.
little something about yourself there, Emiel.
Hey, I'm Emil, and I've been at it for quite a bit. And oh yeah, I think I was there at the beginning of the sect almost.
Pretty much, yeah.
I think
Pretty
pretty
damn
much,
close.
yeah.
Well, Emiel, you and I
So
were not just at the beginning of the sect, but also the beginning of the whole YouTube days with YouTube Satanism and the early videos.
yeah, yeah, with Zach Black when I was doing reply videos with Zach Black.
Yeah, and 5-star ratings. Remember that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I remember watching your videos, Emil, the Satanic Dutchman videos.
yes,
They were
yes.
very good. There were only a few I actually liked. The Dark Fools being another one, Zach's. I like Jason King.
Yep.
And I like
Yep.
yours. There were a few that I didn't like all that much, but we won't mention them because you don't hear much from them anymore.
Moving on.
No, yeah, it's like the guys that we didn't like seem to be gone.
Yeah, it's strange how that
Yeah,
happens.
right. A lot of them just kind of dropped by the wayside, and what's funny is that I'm surprised I'm still here.
Well,
Well,
How the hell did I make it?
Yeah, I've been kind of quiet though. I've put most of my stuff on private, but oh well. But we'll get into that later, probably.
anyway.
Foreshadowing, foreshadowing, foreshadowing.
Oh.
Okay,
Ooh.
okay.
Okay. So we're anticipating something then. All right.
Oh.
All right. So now, okay, you being European, and the sect having a decent amount of European members, a surprising amount. I've come to notice that there is a difference between the American Satanists and the European Satanists. It's not a huge difference, but how should I say? The Europeans tend to be better schooled in a way. I'm not saying all. This isn't,
One thing that I've noticed, a lot of Satanism in America is reactionary. Like you're raised a certain way, and then you flip out and you go against that. What it would be described as antinomianism.
right.
But the difference that I've noticed with that in American and Europe is that America tends to flip out because it's still very religious, whereas, and you can feel free to chime in anytime you want, Emiel, but
Okay.
Europeans are more atheistic as a culture, where we are still theistic, or at least
Yeah, that's
The residue
that's
right.
is still
yeah. That's probably right. It's like especially in Western European countries, it's more common to have like natural atheists like myself that haven't been raised with religion whatsoever. And then if you go for Satanism, if you're like an atheist like myself, then it's more like it's not. It's actually more of a choice than actually an act of rebellion.
More,
I guess.
more of an intellectual choice,
Yes.
and
Yes.
very cool. Okay,
Unless I'm mad at mommy and daddy, so
right.
I'm
Yeah.
drawn toward this wild alternative.
Now I
Yeah,
can
and
I was
it's
raised.
go ahead.
it's also quite a European thing to like to do research before you jump into something. So that's probably also the reason why also European minds are, I think, a bit more curious about ideology. I think because we've had so many.
Yeah, well, philosophers, where did all the great
Yeah.
philosophers come from?
Right.
Yeah, yeah, it's old. Europe is old.
Yeah. U.S. only, what, 240 years. So,
Something like that.
yeah, compared to a couple thousand years.
Right.
So yeah,
I think you guys had a head start as far as maturing as a culture.
Yeah, we're still learning.
Yeah. But also the people that went to the United States were also very, very, very religious.
Right.
So that's like I think that's like baggage that they brought along.
Yeah, the Puritanism. Yeah,
the Puritanism, and meanwhile, like Europe was working on its enlightenment and stuff. So
yeah, there's still a lot of it there. I've come to notice, even amongst atheists, there's still a bit of that Christian morality seeping through.
Oh yes, it's basically. Of course, there are atheists that say it's like you don't need Christianity for morals, but it's what they came from.
Yeah.
From those whole.
right.
Yeah,
There's a lot of dogma still. Like a lot of times, atheists, specifically here in America, they've replaced. Okay, they've been so against. Again, it's that whole going against thing, being defined against something. That a lot of them are so hardcore science, and science has become their dogma.
Science or political leanings.
Yeah,
They'll
that too.
substitute
That too.
one big G God for another big G government. I've come to notice.
Or climate.
Yeah, there you
go.
Yeah, there's yeah. But we won't get into that.
No.
But okay.
That's actually a nice segue to an organization that you probably want to talk about.
Yes. A certain satanic organization. Well, are they satanic? I don't know. Then at the same time, how can you basically lay claim to any archetype or mythological entity and say it's yours only and no one else can utilize it?
Hey, you guys talking about the Satanic Temple?
Wow,
what's going on here?
How did you guess?
What? I got it. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, they're now starting off with those guys. I initially liked them.
Yeah.
We got to talk to Lucian Greaves.
Yes.
A few times.
Yeah.
And Brian Werner when he was still involved.
Yeah. Good guy. I like him. But at first the rebellious stance, the Baphomet statue, the ritual there at Phelps's mother's
great. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was classic.
Yeah, that stuff was kind of cool. It was kind of fun.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
Okay. I know I got so much I want to say, and we're all tripping over each other here.
Right at.
Oh my goodness. So I will come out and say I donated $200 to get that to the statue to get it built. Towards the crowdfunding. I really liked the idea at the beginning. My biggest criticism is that they had some great battles, like challenging the Ten Commandments, challenging the religious literature in schools when those bills passed.
They did some things that were completely in line with LaVey's pentagonal revisionism.
Yes, and that's what I really dug about them at first. But then there were other things that just started, like walk a Muslim child to school. Like, what is this?
That's politics.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then on top of that, for me, the other thing too is that there was a lot of watering down, and the watering down I can understand when it came to the statue, because you took the tits off of Baphomet to make it more presentable. You didn't want nudity. I get it, but there's other things like the TST is very different from the Church of Satan, and they don't.
Yeah.
I have noticed that they don't really fall back on LaVey's writings or anything like that as a.
No, there's none
Didn't
of that.
Sect blog post like the tenets of the COS and the tenets of the TST next to each other and compare them?
Yeah.
You know what? I actually missed that one. I got to go back and check that out.
That's recent. He did that recently.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Check it out. It's see with them. See, it wasn't philosophy first. It was politics first.
Right.
And I like to say, politics is the residue of philosophy. You ingest philosophy and you shit out politics.
And Satan is no politician.
No. No, it should be greater than politics, simple politics. But it's obvious where their politics lie.
Oh yeah.
It's blatant.
Yeah.
And not everyone, let's say, coincides or is in lockstep with that philosophy.
And it's easy, especially when you get into politics, it's easy to get lost in the politics and the political identity without a philosophy to fall back on.
Right.
See?
Yeah. Philosophy goes past the whole us versus them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And if you get if you involve politics, you get us versus them.
You know what?
Exactly.
You know what I would have loved to have seen from and maybe I hope they're listening. Maybe they can take some notes if they want. I would love again with these battles, these early battles that they picked. I loved it. It was great. I would love to see them go after the hang-ups of the McCarthyism that were still like in God we trust on our money, one nation under God, and our pledge that's still there, that's still hanging on. Yeah,
the stuff that was added in to during the 1950s,
which would have gone with their early mentality.
Yeah, it was due to communism, fear of communism. They started, shoehorning God into government. The Pledge of Allegiance.
Right, and I respected and admired the TST because they were going after the pluralism. They kind of, like I said, they got lost in the politics of it all.
But it became more, purely based in politics.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you were to ask, okay, where is the left-hand path philosophy? There isn't any.
Right. Well, and actually, you could argue that it's right-hand path because of the collectivism.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. So I can understand. I can fully understand why somebody like Peter H. Gilmore would be so frustrated right now.
Here we go.
With satanic, with other satanic organizations. I fully understand. I fully get it. But he has, in a sense, dropped the ball also.
Okay, yeah. See, getting into this, what has Peter Gilmore... See, at least the TST is doing something. What is the Church of Satan doing under the leadership of Gilmore? What?
Yeah.
Nothing.
And all right. Also, he's become, talk about dogmatic.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot, if you are a part of the COS, you cannot be a part of any other organization. Even though, Peter Gilmore, there are COS members in the Sect of the Horn God. There are a few.
Yeah.
Now, to me, that kind of sounds like Jehovah's Witnesses. As a child, I went through the whole Jehovah's Witness thing with my paternal grandmother. And if you were a Jehovah's Witness, you are not really supposed to connect with others who aren't in the faith or the truth, as they call it. And that's what this almost reminds me of. You cannot be a part of any group if you are part of COS. Another thing is, all right, he is so hardcore atheistic that he's lost a lot of the, how should I say, the let's say the fantastical fun aspects that LaVey had.
Yeah.
LaVey, throughout it all, always had sort of a twinkle in his eye. You know what I mean? There was a sort of smart ass. There was something. It was a little more, lighthearted, but at the same time, there was more philosophical depth. That sounds redundant, or excuse me, that sounds oxymoronic. But
right,
do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, and see,
he had his tongue sometimes planted firmly in his cheek while he said stuff.
Right.
And what gets me, I said it earlier, but I want to expand upon it. Is that there are people that come out. Or organizations that come out and promote. And I brought this up in a discussion with a COS member. Yeah. There's the Luciferianism of Michael W. Ford. Now, Luciferian, but left-hand path.
Right.
There's Jason King. There's the Sect of the Horn God. There's all of these, what I would consider to be legitimate organizations. But the COS, all they do, or at least what I've seen, all they do is... just shit on anything else that comes out. And where's the construction in that?
Right. Where's the philosophy?
Right.
It's just this is what we're
it seems
against.
It seems like they're sitting on their laurels for a bit. Well, they should be getting off their ass, basically.
Perfect example of that is you can go on YouTube.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Go on YouTube and put in the Church of Satan, and you know what you're going to get. You're going to get the
Church of
Satanic
Satan.
Temple. And you're going to have to scroll way the hell down before you find a video from the COS.
Yeah, I came to your house the other day. You showed me that.
Way down. And this is ridiculous. Think about what they have access to.
They have the rights to LaVey's work.
Everything.
They have the rights
All
to
of
his
it.
sound clips and his.
And they have creative people in it. And that
What about the
organization.
Joseph Campbell Foundation?
Oh, with
The Joseph Campbell Foundation has, like, if you type in Joseph Campbell, it's going to be one of the first things that pops up. Is his videos, his lectures.
yeah, the foundation.
Right.
So on and so forth.
But you type in the Church of Satan, all you get
You're
is...
not going to get the Church of Satan.
Exactly. And that's in YouTube, which is owned by Google. That is an algorithm that goes by searches and people's searches.
Yeah, exactly. Or put in the Sect of the Horn God. You know what you're going to get.
Exactly.
But you're not going to get the Satanic Temple, and that's what you get.
The Church of Satan.
When you put in the Church of the Church of Satan, you get the Satanic Temple.
You're right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get very first. Actually, when I put it in the very first video I got was a video about Marilyn Manson.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And
That's right.
Satanism somehow, and
That's
then
right.
after that, it's all TST.
That's right.
That's ridiculous. Why, dropping the ball right there.
And they've been around for how long? And didn't they put Satanism on the map in America?
53 years.
Yeah. So what's
Yeah.
the excuse?
Yeah, and like I said, they have enough creative people. They just stick one person just concentrating on videos, utilizing this archival footage that they have of LaVey, and also Gilmore himself, and also the other, writers and speakers and so on and so forth they have. They could put out some really good stuff, but why? I can see. Okay, I can fully understand not being on social networking.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, Facebook
like
has been
Facebook or Twitter or whatever.
Yeah.
I get that. I fully get that, and I think they do have some elements there, but don't focus there. God damn it,
No.
Facebook is a cesspool.
Yeah.
I only go on there to check on things, and then I get the fuck off.
If
as
it
soon as
weren't
I can.
for various sect groups that are active, I would have left Facebook years ago.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
basically what I do. I check on the groups.
I'm just
and
there
then
for
I'm
my
out.
band and just to keep in touch, with cats like you. That's it.
Right. But see, it has a networking aspect. The social aspect is the networking is kind of vital. in
Mob
that area.
mentality and
Yeah.
tribalism and all that. God damn it.
Oh, and now to make matters worse, Facebook has an algorithm. We're kind of going off topic a little bit here, but Facebook has an algorithm that will feed you your news based on what they think your bias is. I'm pegged as a liberal. I have very fiscally conservative views.
You're pretty moderate in your.
Yeah. On social issues, maybe I'm liberal, but on fiscal matters, I'm definitely conservative.
Right. So yeah.
I'm a staunch libertarian.
Yeah.
There's no middle ground. And anyways, well,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, with all this, I mean, when you have the two biggest or the most popular organizations, satanic organizations, neither one of them is all that appealing. Hence, you have us, but we're technically not a satanic organization. We are a left-hand path organization. So in this way, you COS members who might not like us, we're not in competition with you.
Yeah.
All right, we're something different. We are a different animal.
Yeah,
So-
the Sect of the Horn God is more a resource than an organization.
Yeah, good point. It's more like a university than a church.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way. You notice I don't use some grand muckety muck title. I am simply the founder. You know what I mean? I'm not, Pope or
I'm guilty.
high. No, you don't have a title. You have no. I like your moniker.
Right. Yeah. No,
there's
but I
nothing wrong
do.
with that.
Yeah, it's not.
No, but
my
I said
standard,
you didn't
yeah.
call it. You're not High Lord Dark Fool or anything like that. or-
Actually, I am.
If you want to hear about me.
All right.
Now you know. Now I must kill you.
Dun dun dun.
But anyway, so I can simply put, can Satanism, as it is right now, can it be redeemed? Is there any hope for redemption when it comes to Satanism? Darkful?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I want to let Emiel. You chimed in first. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, it's a really difficult question. Um, well, the thing is, the question that I've been asking myself lately has been: should Satanism redeem itself? It's like a left-hand path philosophy, and which has like the innate ability to correct itself. Maybe Satanism being, going back on the grounds. Maybe that's the default position. Maybe it should stay that way.
I like that.
Maybe.
I in line with that. I think that the left-hand path, at least left-hand path Satanism. Well, Satanism in general. See, the thing about people are going to carry out things and do things and take things in a different direction regardless. I had this criticism early on about the COS taking charge of the name Satanism. They like, we hold Satanism, we hold the title. It's like, no. There's like in Hinduism, there's different forms of Hinduism. Buddhism, there's Zen Buddhism. There's Christianity, there's Baptist, there's Protestant, there's Catholic.
Oh, I get it. I have a video it's called 3 Types of Satanism.
Right.
All right. And in it, in the comments, I constantly get COS members going, there's only one type.
Right.
To me, that sounds like a fundamentalist Christian.
Exactly.
Because all fundamentalist Christians believe that their type, their brand of Christianity, is the only kind.
And the point that I'm going at with this is that it's going to branch out and go in many different directions, some of which people don't agree with. Now,
Right.
And as long as it spreads, yeah, you're going to get some that are going to fall off the wayside. You're going to get some that are going to be successful. But regardless, it's this thing that's going to keep going. And part of it, too, is the information is still going to be there. As we as human beings progress, as society even progresses, our consciousness, individual or group, doesn't matter, our consciousness is going to be looking at it differently over the test of time. How does this apply now?
Yeah, it's kind of like the discussion that you had last year was about unifying Satanism. It's kind of,
we beat the hell out of that dead horse.
Oh yeah. But let's pick that up again.
Okay.
It's like I was against it. I'm still am.
Yeah.
I was growing at the time, and I've seen the error of my ways since then. But yes, go ahead.
Yeah, there's no unification.
Yeah, exactly. So also when trying to promote Satanism or redeem it, maybe you're destroying it by doing exactly that.
Yes, and the TST is actually a good example of the unification aspect.
And TST, I got a feeling TST will not last.
And
I don't think because of the basic fact, as we mentioned earlier, there isn't enough philosophy, deeper philosophy. It's too much of a
bedrock.
Yeah, there's too much. Yeah, exactly. There's too much of a. It's too much of a whim. It's too much of a reaction and counter.
Right.
You know.
Now, I wish to address a really at my mindset at that time. There was still, even in I was in my early to mid 30s during that discussion. At that time, I still had a heavy Christian influence in my life, and I was actually being very reactionary. I decided to take the opposite route and to actually, if you pardon the term, practice what I preached. And I started working on my life, and I found that my life got better, and that that outside influence got less and less as I gained more independence. So I actually decided to go more of the left-hand path route, and that ended up being the better option, because the more I rallied, the more I raged against it, the more it just didn't fix anything, and it watered down everything that I had been trying to build.
Great point. Great point.
Yeah.
All right.
So basically, by letting go, you strengthen yourself.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you YouTube viewers, or those who've been listening to this little discussion, now in the comments below, let us know what you think, or do you think Satanism can or does it need to be redeemed, or is it just fine the way it is? Make sure you let us know, and please like and subscribe. And Emiel, thanks for joining us. And as always, Dark Fool.
Yeah.